in Cotapt town from Archola realm. We're currently in Sapid Refina, a restaurant. Cotapt town is the town closest to the central realm gate where you enter all realms from. And there is a server who is currently cleaning tables since all of the fucking people of town have just left. The reason why is the 30th day of the month, the year is 3000 of the Realmniverse, and it looks like everybody is currently going to the fashion show prevented by the realm's leader, Din. When these fashion shows happen, they close down all businesses because Din expects you to be at his fashion show or you'll be damned. That's a little overdramatic, but anyways. Inside Sapid Refina, as our server here, Flatenna wipes off her last tables. She was stuck after work late, and this is why she's currently not going to the fashion show. However, to her surprise, despite the building being closed down a couple of minutes ago, the mayor of town, who everybody knows, walks through the doors.
Ah, hello.
I look up and say instinctively, we're closed, not realizing who it was that came in. Everyone was going to the pageant. I would assume that we were supposed to be closed as well and going to the pageant.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm quite tired, but, well, I am the mayor, and I hope you won't turn down this business. This is just once in a while.
Let me go talk to the cook.
Oh, yes, do talk to the cook. And ask him to start the grill for me, and, and if you ever get some beverages, I would love some tea. Thank you.
Suddenly you're cut off when it looks like a man barges in through the door. This man would be Gluth.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh,
Burgundy! Yeah, I slap Burgundy on the back. How's it going? So, how many women have you fucked in the past week?
Oh, my chances of women grow dimmer with my age.
While you guys are going over, Gluth, who works at the butcher next door, realizes that since the restaurant's closed, he might as well start the grill himself since he knows how to grill some meats.
I'm gonna start up the grill to cook some leftover meat from my butcher next door.
Oh, I see. Might as well.
Flatenna, do you want some?
Sure, if you're going to go ahead and cook, I wouldn't mind something to eat. I've been working all day and haven't had a chance to have anything to eat myself.
Oh, then I'll be happy to cook for you.
I go to the back and to get him some tea in a nice glass. And while I'm back there, I mentioned to Gluth, did you notice the color of his tie?
Yeah, I had to say I did notice that. I'm hoping it's just a very dark orange.
While these two are in the kitchen, in the central room with Burgundy, it looks like two women walk through the door, Mrog and Rishaw.
Oh, just the other day, will you believe this fool came in and he thought he could challenge me, so I punched him into quack. Will you believe that? He didn't expect that. Oh, what a fool.
Yeah, I was expecting something like that happened.
Oh man, thinking women can't fight. I want to be a dojo master who wasn't able to slurp ass and kick balls at the same time.
It looks like the server walks out with drinks and sees these two new faces now, even though the restaurant is still closed.
Oh, but sure. Say, how about a table for two, why don't you?
I suppose so. I don't have much of a choice now, do I?
Don't worry, this restaurant is not closed. It's available for everyone to relax after a long day.
Yes, my apologies about coming here so late. I am quite famished and I closed shop very late today, so I was not able to go to the fashion show.
That's quite alright. Aren't they just about the same every time they happen? It's not like we're missing much, I would assume.
I agree. Why would we care about clothes when this whole world is all about battle?
I had to agree. Not like I have very much clothes anyways.
Why would we even really care when we can't even be participants?
I'm glad that all of you folks can settle down after what King did a few years ago. Well, 10 years ago, I think, if I recall. It's been a while. Of him not having you guys fight, or at least some of you fight. It's I hope you guys are very well established in this town, that I've tried my best to accommodate the largest population of this district.
Things do seem to be rather peaceful. I think we're getting along rather well, I suppose, for the most part.
I see. I do find it interesting how the King Din doesn't let any of the pisticium into the beauty pageant or fashion pageant, whatever he has every 30 days.
Isn't it every 30 days? You know, once a month? Don't you think this is... Oh, never mind. Here's your refreshing drink. I'll be back. Unless you have decided on ordering anything.
No, that would be fine. Thank you for serving me. I do appreciate the business at this late of an hour.
My pleasure.
A random person who you've never ever seen before. This man walks through the door and he doesn't appear to be Enian or Pisticium, which greatly confuses everyone, especially since, again, the restaurant is closed!
Hello there, can I please have something to eat when I go sit down?
By the gods, is the whole town going to come in here today?
I don't really know there. Hey,
I am Flatina. Please take a seat, and I will be with you shortly.
I like how big your titties are.
Indeed.
I yell from the back. I'm cooking up some meat if you want some.
Murad scooted over to Rashal and whispered, "Whoa, that's a
I'll take meat.
fine gentleman."
I'll take meat.
I will be with you shortly. I need to attend to the other two ladies here and take their orders. I go over to the two ladies seated in their table and ask them for their drink orders.
I would like to take a beverage.
Can I have breast milk, please, mommy?
I will be with you shortly. Please sit down and be quiet.
From the back, you all just hear, doo-doo-doo, cooking some meat on pageant day.
Burgundy slips his tea.
And what would you two fine ladies like this evening?
Give me your breast milk.
I guess I too would like to drink some tea.
I said breast milk, lady. Latina, can I have your breast milk? Breast milk.
I will go fetch you some tea. I'll be back in a moment. I come back. I found the teas in front of the two ladies.
Breast milk.
I'm walking over to this strange person who is yelling loudly. Yes, what would you like to drink?
Breast milk fix.
Right away. Here is your breast milk, sir.
Thank you. And I actually like your titties. They're huge and humongous. You know I said it, bitch.
Gleb, is the food ready?
I'm sorry to Persian, but where exactly are you, young man? Do you know?
I'm just a traveler.
Oh, I see. It makes sense why I couldn't recognize you. You have a very strange and unique features, but, well, welcome to Cotapt's town.
Finish cooking some meat on pageant day.
Fantastic. Is that 3 orders ready?
Yep.
Alright, are you working on the 4th one?
I walk out with the meat. Serving some meat on pageant day.
And where's the breast milk, motherfucker?
I don't get paid enough for this.
You get the smallest piece.
The breast milk is right in front of you, sir.
Alrighty, I'll drink it up.
While everybody is talking and chilling and avoiding the pageant, suddenly, you guys see a woman walks in. Her name is Bane. None of you know her very well, but you've all seen her around because her features stand out.
Bane simply goes over to a table
Oh,
and
there.
sits on the table, putting
My
her feet up.
eyes wonder in amazement at the bright colors. Yes. Have a seat somewhere. I'll be with you in a moment.
She proceeds to sit on a table, putting her feet up.
I'm sorry to budge in, but who are you?
Hello
The
there.
name's Bane, and
I see.
well, here, isn't it illegal to avoid the pageants?
Well, I'm just tired, like all of us are, but I do have a counterattack to that argument. Your hair, isn't it, well, red? Suppose you should probably dye it before some of the guards notice us and take you away. Well, Missy, are you gonna dye your hair after this late night charade?
My hair is naturally red, and dye is expensive, for it washes out in only a few points. And it's quite stupid to outlaw a simple color that is part of normal genetics.
Well, if you want meat, then you're getting it served the worst way. Well done.
Maybe the worst way for you, but I prefer my meat well done.
You don't even deserve meat.
Well done or not well done, surely you can't be going around town with that getup you have. Especially the red hair.
Muddles under breath. That's rich coming from someone who's wearing a red tie.
Burgundy sips his tea.
Walks over to the young lady. Are you perhaps wanting to drink anything in particular? And will you be paying? Or do you expect this to be charity?
I will be paying, and I'll just have a simple tea, please.
Very well. Walks to the back and only fills her glass halfway and comes back and sets the half glass. This is all the tea we have left.
Alright, thank you.
Walks away without saying anything.
I whisper over to Flint and Etta. I'm surprised you're even serving them at all.
Money is money, I suppose.
The laws are rather amusing, to say the least. They're ridiculous. Outlawing a singular color. Why not outlaw all of them? Why does one symbolize something when some people may not even see the color the same as other people?
That's quite interesting to think about.
You do have a point. It's not like you could cut your eyes out.
Yeah, ain't that gonna be crazy?
But I still think you should dye your hair. That's something you can change.
Well, yes, I can. I would either need to completely shave my hair, which I'm not too fond of, for my parents did that, and, well, that isn't a good look for us. Not the right face shape, I'm sure you can tell. And my eyes, I can't change that. So,
I think the law only pertains to if you're wearing it like clothing. I don't know that eyes would be something that would be against the law. I'm unsure of the clarifications of the law myself, but I do think that you could wear a wig if you're not wanting to shave your hair, or maybe not wear that red tie.
I feel like that she could just wear a hat like Mrag is here. I mean, you could always cover it up, you know, instead of just walking around and flaunting it around. It is illegal. And I have also heard things such as you being a thief and whatnot as well.
Yeah, might as well, like, take your hat.
Yes, I wouldn't really want you to be in my shop. I wouldn't know when you would be stealing my wares.
Hey, Bane, I agree. Well, you look fine, but why should you be hated for your red hair?
Exactly, and as for the specifications of the law for only wearing it, my grandfather was hung because his hair was red when it was naturally that color. He didn't dye it. He had no choice of it.
Then that seems like more reason to dye your hair. But I still sorry to hear that about your grandfather. It is a shame that we even react so hard about natural colors.
It is a shame. And it is a shame. And the law should either be changed or not be as strict. Because people can't change their genetics.
I see where you're coming from. It is true that not everyone could get their hair dye change or eye surgery, since that is quite expensive around these parts.
Yeah, they should probably change the thing about natural colored hair being red, just like how they should bring back on the army after it being disbanded. I miss cutting stuff.
I agree. I'm a family from the heritage of the military. Seeing them take that away angers me greatly.
Yeah. In the military, I was known as the Butcher. I cut more people in half than anyone has ever done on the battlefield.
The Butcher. How fitting.
Yes, and you're always the one who had to come back to my little shop, coming back with your broken weapons, and I had to resupply you with more. I do miss those days.
Wait a minute. Bane, do you support the Keeper or do you not?
Personally, I don't much believe in the religion. Everyone has their own beliefs.
I see. Then, I guess you could say by that logic, you're not supporting the forecomer himself. So, you shouldn't be hung if you don't support the forecomer, because only those who support the forecomer should be hanged. You are born with red, but you don't support the forecomer, so what logic is that for you to be hanged in the first place?
Because it is a simple color.
Actually, if we're talking about the color red right now, why are most of you all wearing these red ties?
I have to say, I was wondering that myself.
What can I say? It's a really nice color.
Yes,
It's a
I
horrible
also
color.
like the red tie myself.
Yes, but you know that's illegal, and you were just bashing on that poor young little girl over there in regards to the color red. But you are also wearing red.
Well, I don't support the forecomer. And clearly, I think it's okay to actually maybe wear some bit of red.
I agree. It looks kinda nice, don't you guys agree?
And besides, it's a bit discreet. We can hide it under our clothing. It's not like out in the open like her hair is.
That does seem to make a lot of sense to me as well.
It would make more sense to me if it was blue.
Yes, I do enjoy the color blue. It is a nice color.
Look
Blue
over
this,
here.
red that. What even is the matter anymore? It's just the color.
Look over here at the lovely dress.
Me personally, I am quite fond of the color red as it reminds me of blood.
That's the only time when it's good to wear the color red, when it's the blood of our enemies.
Well, actually, did you all notice that they're actually looking, well, the ties that they're wearing, they all look exactly the same.
They do. They do indeed.
Right.
They could be perhaps part of some sort of underground group.
A cult?
What are you talking here, precisely?
Yeah. What are you saying? Are you saying we're gonna rebel? Is that what you're presuming?
We never said anything of the sort until you said it now.
Now I'm suspicious.
Now, you really want to know why I'm wearing red?
Yes.
I hate the government. I despise this man that you call king. He took away the very thing that I know for my family heritage of warriors. I wear this to represent what he took away from me.
Rag, you make it sound like that I love our king or something. I too miss our heritage and our way of life and our people and how we were all together in our little group, you know, fighting in the...
Yes, you understand. Then you understand why I'm wearing red.
I also hate it, but isn't it also part of our heritage not to like the color red?
No,
Well, I'm not sure why
you
don't really quite understand the red, but I do understand about you hating the king.
I'll be
do
honest,
understand
after
that,
the king disbanded the army 10 years ago, it was a hell of a ton of work trying to get you all into jobs. This town is one of the most largest population town in Archola. It was just a lot of work, and today was also a lot of work in the town hall. I had to keep myself busy filing new reports, new job listings, trying to make sure no one gets poor where they can't afford a job or can sustain themselves. And I'll be honest, the reason why I wear this red tag is because secretly inside I also despise myself working for the government. It's a little memento to tell myself that there might be change one day. King Ding has a very strange policy about 30-day fashion policies and having to close down all businesses. What does that mean about hospitals and other necessities like food? What are we supposed to do? Be out there starving up to death?
I agree. He makes us weak, pathetic, just so he could have some fun. What kind
And
of
is it
ruler is
really
that?
truly that much fun if it's expected every single month? The same thing?
I find it quite boring and repetitive. I want my time because I want to separate myself from the government that has caused me so much trouble.
Now, don't get me wrong.
I certainly don't envy you.
I love my butcher job, but ever since I have stopped cutting into people, I felt less like myself. I feel like I could get a little bit more into what you are all talking about.
Yes,
I
you agree.
am a soldier for hire, and I make money for a living. Could I work for you guys if I want to start a rebellion?
Can you fight?
Well, I could try. I am a traveler.
Look pretty scrappy to me.
You do look rather thin.
Go fuck yourself.
Fuck you too.
Well, I agree with you all on this. I do miss making weapons for a greater cause. Now I'm just making weapons to, I don't know, sell to adventurers and just for, I don't know, killing random creatures.
All you make is freaking kitchen knives for these freaking women in the kitchen. What does it matter for your blacksmithing skills?
Yes, I am a blacksmith and I wish to make better weapons. Swords, katanas, hammers, cleavers, anything of the sort that is beautiful and holy.
I like the sound of where this is going, Risha. I'm not going to need you to make me another giant cleaver.
I know exactly how you like it, and I will make it in post-haste.
Extra cutting.
Seems we're all in agreement then.
Rather fantastic.
Yes.
I really do wish that I could see this all come together somehow.
Hey, Katuna, can I touch your mommy's milky, please?
So, how are we going to organize all of this? Do we have any idea on who wants to be the leader?
I
Let me
think
touch your fucking
it'd be
milky.
fitting the mayor be the leader.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that? There seemed to be someone talking.
Oh,
I want
ignore
your
them. They're not part of this.
Yes.
There's
I've
that
dealt
new
with the
again.
king's
So strange.
government policy far enough. I think it's time we did something about this.
Yeah, I agree.
This is outrageous. Why can't we not have the color red when we're not worshiping the devil. It's not in our blood, but in our DNA. And what makes us our DNA? Ourselves!
I think for us to get back to the way things were before, I don't think it was that savage.
I agree.
You shouldn't hang someone just because they're born red with red hair or red eyes. That's criminal!
And I want to cut people again!
I want to fight again.
If people want to fight, let them have a fight!
Yes.
Bring back the military!
Bring back my family's name.
While everybody's talking, you guys see something disturbing across the street. Suddenly, you guys look across the road and you see a group of skeletal horsemen riding through town, rummaging into people's houses while the town's empty, excluding this restaurant. It looks like they're a group of thieves.
Oh no.
Bane, this isn't your doing, isn't it?
This isn't me. I don't know them.
We really need to get over there as soon as possible.
My shop! All my stuff is in the shop!
This is Rat from like 9 months after this session happened, and I frankly don't remember what most of the battle was. I just remember the key elements and the main things that happened. But the original battle, there was a lot of newbies who weren't used to fighting, and it ended up being really long, like an hour long. So for the sake of your listening pleasure, I'm going to summarize the idea of what happened. It might not be 100% accurate, but it's what I remember happening. So enjoy the redone battle summary. Upon seeing the men on skeletal horses riding towards Rishaw's blacksmith shop across the street, everybody immediately sees and reacts in different ways. Some people duck underneath the tables, trying to not be seen. Some stand up confidently and protrude themselves, hoping they're seen so that they can take them on. Following this, Kaimon, who was the only one who didn't react in any notable way, just stands up, picks up his boomerang, and looks like he's getting ready to fight. Gluth runs out the back because he realizes he left his butcher knife in his shop, and Bane follows, planning to sneak attack the leader since she's quick. Meanwhile, Rishaw, who always carries one of her weapons on her, uses her staff and gets ready to head out. Mrog, who's a brawler, doesn't even need a weapon. Burgundy taps his hand on his holster of his weapon, which he always carries with him and grabs every morning, and everybody makes their way outside. You see a bunch of people of a race you have never seen before. It looks like they don't have any lips. Instead, their jaws are quite wide, and they have their gum exposed along with their teeth. You can even see the area besides their mouth where the teeth connect to the back of their gums. Their eyes glow, implying they have Oter eyes, not like yours, since only their irises do. And they appear to be quite large, about the size of a pistacium, but maybe smaller. Or about the same size. Nonetheless, they look quite beefy as fuck. They're all on these horses. They appear to be skeletal, and it raises them about 5 feet off the ground, which means that if you're a shorty, you're probably going to hit the horse before you hit them. Once you get outside, they all turn around and they look at you guys, and the man closest to Mrog, as you guys exit, looks over and he goes, "It looks like we got company, chaps."
Hey, just what are you doing?
You guys see that the horses that were by Town Hall are all turning around as this happens, and the one goes, "Hey, Wyatt, I think that you might want to come see this. The town's not evacuated completely yet." You guys see a man who is in much scratched up armor compared to everybody else, looks down at you guys, and as he moves towards you with his very scratched armor and some kind of strange helmet with a white crystal that glows on the front of it, he goes, "Now, what do we have here? I was told that it's illegal in this realm to stay in town while there is a fashion pageant going on. It seems we have some rebellion going on here. How unfortunate for you, suggesting we're going to have to kill you for spotting us.
Isn't it illegal to be stealing our town goods?
Illegal? Why, we're not even from this blasted realm where everybody has to watch people dress up in horrendous outfits and pray to a religion that makes no sense in the modern world. You traditionalists make me sick, and quite frankly, perishing you would make nobody feel bad outside of Archola. So why don't you step aside and watch us take a few items out of this blacksmith, and we'll be on our way without any battle.
I don't think I can let you take the blacksmith goods without the blacksmith's permission.
And where is this blacksmith? Perhaps watching some woman dress in a stripper's outfit for their religion and king?
You don't touch my stuff! I made that for warriors!
The guy who initially spoke goes, I'd watch out, Captain. She seems to be an angry grandmother. She might hit you with a cane. White goes, watch out, everyone. She has a broom. She might sweep you to death.
Oh yeah, you'll be laughing when you'll be swept off the floor onto the ground. We need to take out trash like you.
Captain, I don't mean to be ironic, but they might be some of the ugliest race I've ever seen in my life. And this is coming from a Cerebrum. It looks like by this point, the group at the top has kind of closed it off so that there's only one way to get out, which would be south, unless you would like to confront the enemies. Wyatt goes, now, suggesting you're already, quote-unquote, heretics in this realm, if we kill you, we would be doing this realm a justice, am I wrong? After all, you hang people for wearing colors. Quite the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
We don't agree to those laws anymore. In fact, the reason why we're not in this fashion show is because we think the laws are bullshit.
I see. Well, that would make us one and the same, because I think your laws are bullshit. And I also think that we're already in the act of stealing things, and there's no backing out of this. You've seen our faces, therefore, I would kindly ask everybody here to point to the knife closest to them towards their throat and end it before I do it for you. Wouldn't your god not like you for, I don't know, it looks like this woman here has red hair. You might as well aim your blades at her. Isn't she a heretic for having red hair? Although I suppose I'm being a little bit ironic here, coming from a man with red eyes. I guess I was born to spite your kind.
Just because someone has red features like this young lady here doesn't mean that she's a heretic. She doesn't worship the forecomer.
Burgundy draws out his weapon from his holster. Immediately reacting to this, all of the knights on horseback are in an attack stance on their horses. They seem to have some sort of saddles that allows them to maintain composure while being ridden. As they ride towards the group standing in front of Sapid Refina, Flatenna summons some Solidus Votaire gauntlets over her hands in preparation to defend herself, while Burgundy enters a range stance on one of the horsemen. He fires at the horseman's face. The horse doesn't see Burgundy pulling the trigger or doesn't know how to react, but when the gun fires, it tries swaying to the side, but it's too slow. It snaps the horse's skull, and as it falls to the floor, that man gets up. As he's standing, Flatenna gauntlet punches him in the face. While she's retracting from this, and he takes a heavy flinch and a large amount of damage from it, we have Murag. She walked out the front door, but she turns and sliding stabs, which is a skill that allows her to move forward and keep her momentum without moving. She moves directly towards Wyatt Gorman, the boss. Meanwhile, Rishaw, with her staff out, walks in between three of the horsemen and activates Revolution. This sends her staff flying in a circular motion horizontally so that she can practically link hero spin all three of them. She does enough attack with this that it knocks everybody off the horse, and they're all knocked unconscious. Meanwhile,
Burgundy finishes recoiling his gun. He enters a range stance on the man standing in front of him again, and because Flatena is still retracting, he points it in their face, Rick Grimes style, and pulls the trigger. That man is now dead. One of the horses starts charging towards Burgundy. Flatena is just now finished retracting, and she goes for a swing towards its leg. Meanwhile, Kaimon entered a range stance. The only reason he hasn't acted yet is because he was staring at Flatena's breasts. Now that he's finally focused on the enemy, he starts throwing his boomerang with a chuck towards the enemy. It starts swinging around them to come at them from the side, and it looks like his ranged combat speed is so good that he's able to hit this enemy before he's able to hit Burgundy, before Flatena's able to hit the horse. He's first, even though he was late to reacting. As the boomerang hits this man on his side, the man takes a heavy flinch but isn't knocked entirely off the horse. Through the heavy armor, the guy is still alive. Following this, Flatena hits the leg of the horse, which breaks, and it falls onto its front. By this point, Burgundy is finally recovered. He enters a range stance. But before Burgundy is able to shoot this guy or Flatena recovers, Kaimon throws yet another boomerang and flings it directly at this guy. He falls onto his back, and he's dead. While their battle is happening, Mrog sliding stabs over to Wyatt Gorman. He tries to back up in his horse and enter an attack stance, but just as he has entered one, it looks like Mrog catches the horse off guard and sliding stabs directly into it. This does not immediately kill the horse, but it does cause it to flinch. While it's flinching, Wyatt Gorman goes for a jab towards Mrog. As she finishes sliding stab, she goes for a crouch underneath it. She's fast enough in doing this, but he was close to hitting her. Meanwhile, Bane starts dashing over to support Mrog while Gluth is still grabbing his butcher knife. As she stands up, she starts entering a stance with a skill called Wipe, intended to break armor and do massive damage. While she's prepping the skill stance, Wyatt is retracting. And as he retracts, she's already in the stance and she's already started using the move Wipe. She wipes directly through the horse, completely severing its neck from its body, and she continues wiping further on until she hits part of the plated armor. It doesn't go any deeper than this, however, but the plated armor is severed. While that happens, Bane has dashed over, and Wyatt tries going for a swing that would hit both Bane and Mrog. Bane goes for a roll to the other side of him to dodge this, while Mrog, who's just finished Wipe, has to retract. She retracts by the time that Wyatt's already 75% of the way through, and then she puts Voltaire into her head while she's ducking. But she's not fast enough. It looks like Wyatt hits her on the side of the head, and he deals a satisfactory amount of damage, which is around 130 HP. As she takes a foot of knockback sideways in a heavy flinch, Gluth runs out with his butcher knives, probably yelling something very masculine. As he runs out doing this, Wyatt is retracting from his move, but Bane, who's already recovered from her roll, turns around and she goes for a dash towards him. She then starts entering a dash attack on him. As Bane dash attacks at Wyatt Gorman on his side, he just finished retracting but hasn't started a new move yet. Her dash attack deals no damage. Nothing through any of his layers of armor or his high defense from being a creeper, and in addition he does not flinch from this. Once he retracts, he starts going for a jab towards Bane. Bane inputs a large amount of gaseous Voltaire to retract quicker, and then Bane goes for a roll sideways to get out the way of his jab. While he's doing this, Mrog finishes flinching, and Mrog goes for a sweeping kick to finally take out that horse. Meanwhile, Gluth is still running over, but this big boy is not fast. As Bane ducks underneath the jab successfully, Morag sweeps at the horse, which breaks its legs with her high attack. As he falls onto the floor, he too flinches. But it was only a light flinch. While he takes a light flinch, Bane, who's right in front of him, is out of range since she's crouching and she doesn't have high range with her hands, so she starts standing up while Morag's retracting her legs. By this point, Wyatt has heard Gluth, and he gets ready to react. As he stands up and enters an attack stance, Gluth starts going for a dash attack with both of his butcher swords cleaving downwards onto the floor. Wyatt, seeing this, decides to cancel entering his attack stance and go for a roll to the side with a large amount of gaseous fauteuil. Gluth is able to cleave with a vertical swing both of his weapons into the back of the horse and into the ground, where his cleavers are now stuck. Meanwhile, Morag has stood up and she leaps towards Wyatt, and Bane has also stood up. Bane, realizing she can't do much damage, must use Voltaire for the rest of this battle, but she attempts to help Morag anyways, as she jogs over to Wyatt. While Wyatt's recovering, he turns around and enters an attack stance. As Morag leaps, she tries going for a drop kick towards Wyatt. Wyatt goes for a vertical swing to clash with this, inputting a large amount of gaseous fauteuil. It looks like he's fast enough to clash with Morag's weapon, but it does cause a foot of knockback on his weapon and knocks it out of his hand due to the high attack power of Morag and her jump attack. Immediately following this, Bane is next to him. Wyatt does not react to Bane in any way, as Bane attempts to go for a palm, inputting the rest of her Voltaire into her hand. Wyatt simply initiates a dash stance as his weapon's knocked out of his hand, and he starts turning to the side. Bane hits him with the rest of her Voltaire, but it's not able to do enough damage to take him out or cause a flinch on him once again. Following this, he starts dashing away. Gluth finally pulls his cleavers out the ground and starts chasing him. But surprisingly, Wyatt is a bit fast, and in comparison to Gluth, a lot faster. Gluth is not making any ground on him, and Wyatt gets heavy distance. By the time that Morag retracts and lands from her jump, she started going for a dash toward him. But it looks like Wyatt has already made too much distance, and he runs off.
I'm so happy I decided to attack a town close to the realm gate, so just be helping out. Goodbye, everybody.
You have a good one, bro.
Thank you, chap. Archola citizens, so delightful. I wish death upon you all, by the way.
Oh, by the way, once you sleep, I'll come and fuck your mice.
Try getting
My life is already done anyways. You can go ahead and fuck a corpse, you weird asshole.
Don't you dare attack our village or we'll fuck up your Ben once more.
I'll cut you in
I will
half.
shove my dick up your ass, I swear to God I will.
Go fuck yourself. I hope you go fucking die.
After this, you guys hear, coming from the north side of town, which is the area where the pageant was at, a bunch of people are entering town now.
Yes. We should probably hide.
Oh shit. Yeah, let's hide in that bush.
The restaurant or in my butchery?
My shop is closest! Dash!
Dash.
Everybody dashes into the blacksmith shop? Alright, well I guess everybody goes into the blacksmith shop. While you guys are heading in there, you guys start to hear people talking up north. You guys see a bunch of people flood back into town after the fashion pageant ends. And as they do, you guys see some orc soldiers, which is what they call the Pistacium army that protects the king and is usually regarded as the police force of this realm. They observe the chop marks on the ground and some of the blood spilt, and one of them goes, "What the fuck happened when we were gone?" The other one goes, "I'm not really sure what to tell you. This man is Clig." Clig walks over and observes to see who's already in town, excluding the civilians. And he looks towards the blacksmith, and he sees a viporeal man who he's never seen before came on, running back to the blacksmith after grabbing his bag of boomerangs, and he goes, "You there, please stop, or I will have to put you down like a dog."
What are you yelling to stop, bitch?
Don't talk back to the orc army. You do realize we're one of the most prideful armies in the entire realmniverse.
Go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit, bro.
He starts approaching you, followed by 2 orc soldiers, and he goes, "You best watch your tongue. It can be removed. I'll show you."
Oh, you want to remove my tongue? I'll fucking kill you, man.
I would like to see you try.
Shit, I'll fucking kill you in one hit.
It looks like as Kamon is arguing with Klig, the others watch from inside the blacksmith and hear this, and they recognize the voice of Klig, who they all are familiar with as the security force head of this town. He's quite a powerful guy.
I hide my weapons behind the counter.
I also
Klig looks over at the open-faced blacksmith shop, and because there's so many big people in here, some people are still visible from the window, and he looks over at you guys and goes, "Excuse me, Pistasum, I'm going to need some assistance. We have a scraggly mutt screaming. Could you please help me take care of him?"
Oh, you want to get here, baby?
With pleasure! I start dashing out at him.
I come outside. No, wait. I hide the lance and come outside with the broom, and I start brooming the front of the shop. I don't like riffraff in front of my shop.
That is exactly why we are going to remove the riffraff.
What the fuck you calling a mud, huh? You're
Thank you very much, Cliff.
You're calling me a mud, boy? You're calling me a mud? Yo, what's up, bro? What's up?
Can
you stop yapping? You're giving me a migraine and I've only been back for 60 seconds.
Good! You better have a migraine. Fuck you! I put up.
Am I still dashing at them?
You've made it out by now. It looks like nobody else followed behind. It's just Rishaw sweeping and Gluth who is dashing out.
I'm smiling while dashing at him because Gluth just wanted to do this the entire time.
Marag goes to the back of the store to see if she can find bandages and I apply a potion.
In the blacksmith, it looks like Rishaw has some sitting on her dresser in her room.
She takes it and leaves a couple of echoes behind to pay for it.
While you're doing this, outside you hear Gluth dashing towards Kamon as Klig goes, "Thank you, Butcher. I don't want to get my hands silted with this thing's rabies."
No problem, sir.
Gluff, I'll make sure to sharpen your cleavers for you for lunch tomorrow. I mean, before lunch tomorrow.
Thank you.
I wave at him while he walks away.
Gluth has gotten very close to Kamon. Would either of you guys like to do something at this point?
I'd like to come out and start walking towards them as well.
I would like to dash grab him.
Lieutenant Eggs starts exiting the building as Gluth starts dash grabbing towards Kamon. Kamon, you see Gluth is grabbing towards you. Do you want to react towards this?
I would like to struggle.
Alright, you just struggle and resist. Meanwhile, Gluth with his overwhelming strength wraps his arm on your grasp onto you and Klig goes, "Why don't you go throw him through the round gate or something? I don't want him silting our waters."
Yes, sir. And I start bringing him over to the realm gate. While doing that, just flexing my muscles to give him a good squeeze.
Meanwhile, Lieutenant exits and Klig looks over and he goes, "I didn't see you at the fashion pageant."
I was stuck having to clean the mess that was left in our cafe.
Quite a shame you had to miss it. One of the outfits was so extravagant I almost lost my sanity at first sight.
Truly. That is a shame. Perhaps next time, for sure.
He starts walking throughout the town, ignoring the rest of the situation. And after he makes it back in front of the town hall, he continues observing the scuff marks on the ground. And Gluth, as you're walking towards the realm gate, you hear Clig go, "This looks eerily similar to the butcher knives that Gluth uses." The other orc soldiers go, "Unmistakable! That is exactly like the weapon marks left on the battlefield after the butcher! I'll tell you what, I'd pay a lot of money to see Gluth return to his fame." Clig raises an eyebrow. He goes, "Oh, just like hypothetically, I'm not saying we should return the army, that'd be crazy." Clig turns around and he goes, "Lieutenant, you were here the entire time, did you see what happened?"
No, I was busy in the back of the cafe cleaning the dishes.
You didn't hear any noises?
Not to my knowledge.
He raises an eyebrow. Interesting. Anyways, I'll just have to take it up with the forensics group. This is not my specialty, and quite frankly, it's my day off. The man starts walking off, and it looks like Gluth carried Kaimon to the central realm gate, which isn't even that long from town, suggesting that this is the closest town to the central realm gate. And once Kaimon is dragged over to the gate, Kaimon has something to say to Gluth.
Hey, Gluth!
What is it, shit stack?
Well, trust me on this, okay? I know you kind of hate my guts. Should we fight that? Join the fight.
Say again?
Can we beat that Clyde bitch to death?
I do like your wording of it.
And I would like to join. So I would like to hire all of you to fuck Clyde and to kill him. Would you do that?
Alright, shit stack. I'll take you back to the others.
Alright.
And is the realm gate to the right on the map?
It's just straight north.
Wait, straight north?
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys are at the central realm gate. Town is straight north is what I meant.
Oh, town is straight north. Yeah, then I started heading back. Going a little bit off the path.
Alright. You, walk straight north back into town. While you're making it back, Gluth thinks to himself, somebody might see Kaimon, such as Clig or the orc soldiers, and they're not supposed to see him, so you're supposed to come up with some kind of idea to hide Kaimon.
So, how are we going to hide, Gluth?
I got it! I put Kaimon behind my back. Completely hidden!
Kaimon Gluth picks up Kaimon and sheaths him behind his butcher sword. The butcher sword is actually bigger than Kaimon is. Like this, you walk back into town. While you're entering, you pass one of the orc soldiers that protect the gate. This guy goes, "What are you doing out so late? Did you get rid of that scrub?"
Yes, I got rid of him right away. He's lucky I didn't chop him in half.
I see. I would have loved to chop him. I never tasted dog before.
Dog?
He was a mod, that's what Clig said.
Oh, yeah! Damn dirty dog.
Ah, fuck dogs, am I right? That's what they call a bitch.
Yeah! That guy was such a bitch!
Anyways, have a good night. I'm just gonna sit out here and stare into the distance. What a fucking boring job, but hey, it pays the bills and all I have to do is sit around.
Good luck! I start backing away from him with my back facing away from him.
Yes, have a good night. Gluth walks back, and as you make it back, you go back to the blacksmith where you last saw everyone, and they haven't all left yet. As you make it in, you still see Rishaw brooming the front of the shop.
I pick Shitstack up and plant him down on the ground.
Ew, why'd you bring him back?
He has something to say.
I start brooming him into the shop. Well, hurry up, go inside.
You go back inside. It looks like everybody else is still in here, and furthermore, it looks like Morag is laying on the bed after they took quite a heavy blow and are bleeding.
Did she put in any wraps on herself, or did she only just drink a juice?
She put bandages on herself. She's fine now. She's just resting.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna lock the front door then and put on the close sign.
As Kaimon is swept off his feet, dumb play on words, a broom pushes the back of his feet and he quickly walks into a room upstairs. You see practically the entire group is here. And by practically, I mean the entire group is here. Bane, Burgundy, Kaimon, Flatena, Gluth, Mrog, and Rishaw have all reconciled.
I'd like to, close the door, lock it, put on the close sign, close the shutters, close the blinds, close everything so no one can see in.
You proceed to do so.
I grab my cleavers again.
You re-grasp onto your cleavers, and Bane suddenly stands up as if they have something to say.
Great work out there. We did absolutely wonderful. We just took out an entire renegade of men. And the only person who got really hurt was Morag, who, mind you, strongest out of all of us. Isn't to say we're worse, it's just saying we're really great. And I think, just us, we could go against the government.
Yeah! The butcher's back, baby! Oh, I can't wait to bring back this realm's glory!
Could I be hired as a soldier by any chance?
I'll just have to say, if we do go up against the government, we would have to fight all their army and everything, police department. If we were to do that, the government would wipe us out very quickly.
I agree with that statement, but it would also be nice to get out of this boring life and to finally make weapons for a greater purpose.
We just can't keep on living like this. This government isn't for us. And I, for one, will only die if we continue living under this government. And from the way I see it, this town's right next to the Central Realm Gate. We could take this town over. This could be what cuts off from the rest of the realm. We'll be fine. We could guard against the government. And I'd rather fight to live than to wait for my death day.
The butcher blades are in for chopping up. Fuck! I'm gonna chop shit!
Yes, and I'll make sure to supply us with weapons, depending on what you want me to make.
What about you, Flatena? How do you feel about this?
I don't know, this is quite a heavy step. This person is a complete stranger. I've never seen them before.
I see. Here's my opinion. We need more people. And if we need to get more people, we need to have to somehow raise more awareness of this. I say that the only way to see this through is if they have some sort of head figure. And I'm sure they won't be willing to listen to a rebel like you, Bane. I'm the mayor. I'm sure the government will at least listen to me as the mayor. I'm doing this for the heart and good of this town. I'll have to organize some events and have a way to represent this group. And I know all of you are very bloodthirsty for battle, but I would like to keep the combat as a minimum to a possible. Like with those guys, we didn't have to kill all of them, but we were just doing what we can as self-defense.
I would have to agree with you on that, Burgundy.
I don't think we could take on all those police departments if we can right now, considering they're trained for this.
I'm sure I can rally at least a few of the guards. I bet they would love to see the butcher back in his prime.
You do raise a good point, actually. If I recall, while hiding in the black shop, there was this one soldier that was mentioning about the butcher marks and how they kind of wanted to see you back in action.
Of course they do!
Suddenly, Morag wakes up after hearing all the commotion in the room.
I don't know. We're gonna fuck somebody over?
Whoa, we're not gonna kill someone. We're gonna try to make some sort of group to come up a representative for rebels, or at least gain some awareness. We don't want everyone to be killing each other as of now.
Mayor, you're one fine gentleman. I appreciate that. And I definitely agree. I think you would be best to serve our group.
Oh, I try to be civilized. Burgundy raises his empty teacup.
What is he doing? What is he doing?
I don't understand.
Are we supposed to be doing that, Glove?
Gluth raises his hand like the mayor.
I do too.
Are we supposed to be doing this?
I think we're doing it right.
I think we're supposed to be making that noise.
Oh.
This is right.
I think we're doing it.
I think we're doing it right, Glove.
Yes. As a wise man once said, I remember reading a book. The best battles are the battles you can avoid. As long as we can avoid the unnecessary battles, there will surely become a battle where we do have to fight.
No, I agree. Where I see it from, if we are people of this town who are rebel against the government, how many people also agree with us? This is just us because we just happen to run each other. If we spread the word, maybe more people from other towns could agree. And people among the guards could agree. They probably bored the shit out of their lives. They probably don't even support the government. They probably am like me, who wants to fight.
Guys, ladies, we haven't been talking about the most important thing. Uniforms!
What are you planning to wear?
I don't know. I just want something snazzy.
You know, I agree. Wearing this red tie ain't enough.
I do like the idea of incorporating a little more red.
Well, I don't even know who can even make these uniforms.
Well, there's gotta be someone in this town, or even out of town, or even out of realm. I'm sure there's many other people out of realm that are willing to raise support for this.
I believe when we were fighting, the guy said we're the only backward town who still think like this. So I'm pretty sure we're the only ones who ever.
I don't know how I feel about Blake. I'm sure he's just doing his job. If he were to be on our wrong side, it could go badly for us.
I start rubbing my chin.
Actually, he's quite observant. He didn't even see Flatena at the fashion show. So, if anything...
I look at Flatena.
Why only her?
You're not trying to say anything, but okay, you might have it a liar.
I suppose I could do some little
Charming.
moving or charming.
Well, I guess as of now, try to get on his good side. Who knows? He might share our same opinions.
Look at that. Aren't we just all charming individuals? I'm pretty sure we could rile up a real good backing. You know,
Yeah, I'm sure it's my bubbly personality.
Mirage gestured towards the boobs, grasping at it. Yeah, your big bubbling personality.
So much personality.
Okay, guys, I think you're going a little bit overboard here.
Suddenly, Kaimon butts in after hearing the mention of boobs.
So, can I fight under the cause? Under your cause, as long as I can get a drink of Platenda. Get your breasts built. Can I? Please.
Oh, I love his go-getter attitude. Come on, Vitenya.
Yeah, Fraternia, why not? Why not have a young Rascallion train under my... Come on, he might be great.
Yes, I'm sure this young, fine fellow will love some breast milk with his tea. Burgundy raises his tea once more.
Glut raises his hand again.
I did the thing! Let me have your breath
More
milk!
joins in.
Let me have your breast milk. I will fight under your cause.
Yeah!
Yeah!
I raise my empty tea glass into the air.
I drink with my mouth into her breast.
Look at Vitenya. She's clearly agreeing with this.
Come on, Fraternia. What do you
Fraternia.
say?
What do you say about that, Platonia?
It doesn't appear I have much of a choice.
Yes!
You know, this young boy is quite something.
Yes, quite something.
I'm glad an outsider like him can be so agreeable with this kind of mindset.
Alright, one less bastard to worry about. Now you think? We got one more prison to sacrifice. That means fight for our cause.
Well, as of now, let's try not to do something, well, drastic. This place is probably the best place we have, considering that, well, the cafe, I don't think Lieutenant owns the cafe. The town hall has other people managing it, so I don't think it'll be very silent. Lush Bush is okay, but I think the blacksmith might be a good idea since we can maybe forge our own weapons if Lieutenant sees fit. Let's try to meet here every night and start making moves slowly so we can hopefully get the government in a very bad position where we can strike precisely. Obviously the other towns are probably not going to agree with us, so let's just try to keep this undercover as from now. I'll try to get a listing of all the civilians.
I'm sorry, were you suggesting that this shop be our little hideout for now?
Yes.
Well, I do own the blacksmith shop. I guess that would be fine.
It wouldn't be much of a problem since it's not in public view and, well, we're inside somewhere private.
Mayor, you said don't do anything drastic, but my middle name is Drastic. Yep, Gluth Drastic, Butcher. Gluth Drastic Butcher.
Maybe try and get on the good side with maybe the police department. If they're so bored out of their minds, maybe re-embellishing the idea of having an army might give support.
Let's say this. Everyone during the day work their day-old jobs and talk as many customers as you can. Convince them otherwise, get in their mind. And during the night, those who are free, go chat it out with those guards. They're bored. They got time.
Ooh, I would love to talk to the guards.
I'll have to do more research about the town hall, get some more logistics, and maybe you can plan something more complex.
And while you're on it, roll to my dojo a couple of times. You more tap his shoulders. You kind of need some, work out.
Yeah, but just reiterating, does everyone know what we're doing, right? We're meeting here in a blacksmith every night. We'll re-update on each other on the progress. Maybe come up with some more ideas about how the town hall works. Are we all good on that? We meet here every night?
Agreed.
Not three, this is in.
Every night.
Burgundy raises his glass and says, "Can I get a rebellion cheers?"
Oh,
yeah.
He raises his hand to the tea, holding the.
I curve my cup with whoever and sip.
And add a dash of Lieutenant's breast milk.
God, I hate this all.
Alright, everyone, I wish you good night.
Wait, Mayor.
Oh, yes,
Mayor.
what is it? What is it?
Can I talk to some guards tonight? I know the perfect guards to talk to.
Yeah, go right ahead. And keep me updated on how well those guards report to you.
Actually, I do have one last question before we do depart. If a guard somehow knocks on my door with all of us in here, what is gonna be our go-to and what we're gonna say, because we're gonna be part of a rebellion?
Oh, good old buddies hanging out, why not?
Well, I don't think it is breaking the law for just meeting up in your house. I mean, consider us your friends. The only problem we have to worry about is Bane here, and I guess K-Mons. Those are probably the main priorities that we probably have to hide. But anyone else, I think, is fair game.
Burgundy, you gave me a good idea. I pat your back. We'll make it a tea party.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
Gluth leans over to Risha. Wait, that cup has tea. I thought it was empty.
I don't even think it was tea, to be honest, but if you think about it, I wasn't even sure if it was in a cup.
The group kind of gets up and starts moseying on back to their houses as they miscellaneously chat with each other.
Burgundy keeps the teacup. He doesn't return it. He keeps the teacup.
Morag stays behind in the bedroom still.
Gluth starts heading south.
As the group disperses their own separate ways, I guess we're just gonna end the session here. We'll continue this some other day. That's where this Tale of R&R ends.
I was hoping I could talk to the guards.
Well, that was fun.
Why the heck is Brog in my house?